Morning guys, so we're hopefully going to do something nice and straightforward. We're going to look at perimeters of shapes. Okay, so perimeter is just the measurement around the outside of a shape. So sometimes you'll be given all of that information, like in this one. Sometimes you have to find those missing pieces of information. Now, because we're looking at a rectangle, if this width along the top here is 6, that means along the bottom is also 6. If this height is 2, that means that this height here is also 2. So if I'm going to do the perimeter, and we're just going to put P equals for the perimeter, then all I'm going to do is add up as you go around. I would advise just a little cross or something so that you know, particularly on more complicated shapes, you know where you've started and that you've added all your numbers, you've not missed any. It's really easy to do. So you've got 6 across the top, 2 down the side, 6 across the bottom, and 2 back on the side. I've got 6, 8, 14, 16, so it's 16, and it's just centimeters because it is just a length around the outside. Okay, hopefully very straightforward. So for this one, you've just got, again, P equals to represent perimeter. Okay, all I'm going to do is pick a point to start. I'm going to do 7, add 8, add 6. So 7, add 8, add 6, that gives me 15, 21. So it's 21 centimeters. And that's it. Perimeter is just to add up around the outside. Obviously, we're going to get a little bit more complicated than that pretty quickly. So if I've got this sort of shape, remember what we did when we did area, we had to work out missing lengths. So if I know that the full height here is 8 centimeters and that this height here is 2, then that means the height that I'm missing there, okay, so this length we're looking for, has to be 8 subtract 2. So I know this height here is 6 centimeters. If I do the same thing going across, I know all the way across the bottom is 7, but I know this width here is 3. So the width that I have there must be 7 subtract 3. That one there is 4. And so perimeter is, and this is where it's really important that you just pick somewhere nice and easy to start and you add up as you go around. So 3 at the top there, plus 6, plus 4, plus 2, plus 7, plus 8, just to make sure that you've not missed any numbers anywhere. So I've got, that's going to make 10, 20, 30 altogether. So I get 30 centimeters. Okay, and then you get onto shapes where you're given a little bit less information. So remember, these little lines tell me that these are the same length. So this is actually an equilateral triangle. Okay, and I will write the words in here for these two shapes just because you might come across them in a question later on. So if I've got an equilateral triangle, it means all sides are the same length. So I know all of these are 9. So 9, add 9, add 9 is going to give us 27 centimeters. Okay, if I look at the next one, these two lines are the same length. So this one's 7 centimeters. That means I've just got a perimeter of 7, 7, and 8. So 7 add 7 is 14. If I add 8, I'm going to get 22 centimeters. Okay, hopefully nothing too tricky so far. If we look at the bottom one, we've got a square that has a perimeter of 20 centimeters. So we know in a square that all 4 sides are the same length. I know that all the way around has to be a perimeter of 20. So this one plus this one plus this one plus this one equals 20. Since that's the same number each time, all I'm going to do is 20 divided by 4. It tells me that each side must be 5 centimeters. And you can always check 5, 10, 15, 20. I know I've got my answer right. Okay, this is where we then start looking at a few more of the wordier ones. So you've got a rectangle that has a width which is 3 times its height. If the perimeter is 16 centimeters, what are the dimensions of the rectangle? So I'm just going to quickly sketch us a rectangle. Okay, and this is where we're going to start introducing algebra a little bit. So you know the width, so how wide it is 3 times its height. So if I use a h for the height, then this width is 3 times this. So I've got 3h. That means that the bottom measurement must be 3h, and this height must also be h. Okay, we know the full perimeter is 16 centimeters. Okay, so I know if I do 3h, add h, again I've started from this corner, add 3h, add h, I know if I add them all up, it should equal the perimeter, which is 16. So I've got 3, 4 h's, 7 h's, 8h. So I've got 8h equals 16. So if I divide both sides by 8, that tells me that h equals 2. So I can go back to my shape and I can say that the height is 2 centimeters. Okay, and that the width is 3h. Well, that's 3 times 2, which is 6 centimeters. And that's it. Done for question 4. If we look at question 5, you've got a rectangle, and this one's a little bit more complicated. A rectangle has a length of 8 centimeters and an area of 16 centimeters squared. The perimeter of this square is the same as the perimeter of this rectangle. Calculate the area of the square. So if I want to find the area of the square, because there's a lot of information in this question, I need to know what each of the side lengths are. And we know in these, all the side lengths are going to be the same. So if I look at this, if I've got 8 as a width, h is my height, I get an area of 16. So 8 times something has to give me 16. That something must be 2. So I know the height of my rectangle is 2 centimeters. So for this one, if I work out the perimeter, okay, all you're going to do is work all the way around your shape just like you did before. So 8, add 2, add 8, add 2, because obviously that one's going to be 8, that one's going to be 2, in which case I get 20 centimeters altogether. So I know the perimeter of this square has to equal 20. So because there's 4 sides and they're all the same length, if I do 20 divided by 4, it tells me each side must be 5 centimeters. Always go back and check. 5, 10, 15, 20. I know I've got my answers right. Okay, so I know the width of these, or each side, is 5 centimeters. But always go back and check that you've answered the question. Calculate the area of the square. Now, area of a square is base times height. So area equals, the base is 5, height is 5. I get 25 centimeters squared. Okay, so a lot going on in that question, but just break it down a bit at a time. Everything there you're capable of doing. Right, so you should be able to have a go at everything on the first worksheet. And then we're going to do perimeter and algebra a bit more. Okay, so we want to write an expression for the perimeter. Okay, an expression for the perimeter just means that you work out the perimeter, but instead of getting a nice number, you get something that's got lots of letters in it. So we know that if the width there is x, then the base is x. I know if this height is 3y, then so is this one. So if I'm going to do the perimeter, pick a starting point again. I've got x plus 3y plus x plus 3y. We're just going to tidy it up. I've got 1x plus another x is going to give me 2x. 3y plus another 3y is going to give me 6y. So that's it. That is the expression for the perimeter of my shape. 2x plus 6y. So if I look at the next one, same idea. I know top and bottom are going to be the same. I know right and left are going to be the same. So again, pick a starting point. There's lots of letters and numbers in this one. So my perimeter, I've got 2f plus h. Then I add on this side, which is f subtract 3. Then I add on the bottom, so that's 2f, add 5. Then I add on the left, which is another f minus 3. So lots of letters, lots of numbers. I've got 2f plus another f, so that's 3f, 5f, 6f. I've then got 5, subtract 3 gets me to 2, plus 5 gets me back up to 7, subtract 3 gets me back to 4. It's a positive 4, so I put 6f plus 4. I can't make it any tidier than that because I've got one of those terms has a letter in it, the other one doesn't. And that's it. That's my expression for the perimeter. Now if we look at the last one, a little bit more complicated, but they're all different lengths. All we're going to do is pick a starting point again. We're going to work our way around the shape. So I've got x plus 2, 5x, 6x add 7, and 3x add 1. And again, we're going to collect everything together. If it does help, feel free to use a highlighter. So I've got x, a plus 5x, a plus 6x, and a plus 3x. So that's 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 6 gets me to 12, plus 3 gets me to 15. And then I've got a positive 2, positive 7, that gets me to plus 9, plus another 1 is plus 10. And that's it, 15x plus 10. All right, last one. and then you're free to do the second sheet. So you've got the following shapes have the same perimeter. Work out the value of x. So what we're going to do is work out an expression, just like we did above, for each of our perimeters. Okay, now I know if the top's 3x plus 1, so is the bottom. I know if the right is x, so is the left. So for this one, I've got, starting in that top left-hand corner again, I've got 3x plus 1 plus x plus 3x plus 1 plus x. So I've got 3, 4, 7, 8x altogether, and 1 and 1 gives me 2. Again, use your highlighter if you need to, but I've got an expression for this one. I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to start on this corner. So I've got 3x minus 1, 2x minus 2, 4x minus 1, and x. So that gives me 3, 5, 9, 10x altogether. Minus 1, minus 3, minus 4. So I've got an expression for this one. Now it tells you they have the same perimeter. We want to work out the value of x. So I know that whatever that gives me, this has to give me the same answer. So I can basically say that 8x plus 2 has to be equal to 10x minus 4, because they both give me exactly the same answer. From there, it's solving equations like we did a few weeks ago. I'm just going to zoom in on this bit. Okay, so smallest amount of x goes first, so I'm going to subtract 8x. That leaves 2 on this side. 10x subtract 8x is 2x, and I've still got the minus 4. To get rid of the minus 4, we're going to add 4. So 2 add 4 gives me 6, and I've just got the 2x left. To get rid of the 2, we're going to divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and I've just got the x left. So x must equal 3. And that's it, guys. You've then got the second sheet to have a go at. Any problems, let me know.